Welcome back to the 7 Sports Cave. Moved over to the bar set, looking at our beautiful framed jerseys, the art of custom framing. And Troy, guys, you got to get some of these. Got Harbaugh back there. Got Connor Cook over there.
You could probably take the Michigan State one down.
Whoa. Nice frame job.
Yeah.
I mean,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We are going to talk about how we should probably think Michigan is a little bit better than they were a couple weeks ago. Michigan State's a little worse than we thought maybe a few weeks ago. Let's start with the victors. Hail to the victors.
I know that kills you to say.
Not at all. Not at all. They're playing really good football. And I'm starting to think, look, this is the gauntlet. The next 3 weeks are going to tell us everything we need to know about the Wolverines. There's no buttering that up any differently. They're 8-point favorite at home. College game day coming to Ann Arbor this weekend. What do you expect this team to do against a staunch defense and a power run game that Wisconsin employs?
Well, this is the test. I mean, I honestly don't know. Let's be honest. They lose to Notre Dame, and Notre Dame is undefeated since. And they replace Brandon Wimbush with Ian Book, and they're even better, right? But Michigan does this every year. Every year they go through the 5 or 4 game gauntlet of easy teams, teams that aren't very good,
right?
With all due respect to Maryland and the others, but and Nebraska,
Northwestern. I mean, come on, world beaters.
Very difficult.
I mean, seriously, you guys almost upset Northwestern. Congratulations. But they do this all the time, and fans buy back in. And then the second they hit a tough team, then it's back to same old Harbaugh can't win a big game. So I think they'll beat Wisconsin. I do. With that being said, I don't know what to think until we actually see it. And you're right. I mean, 3 tough games in a row, with the exception of Michigan State, but Wisconsin at Michigan State, and then, of course, against Penn State as well. So this is the season. This is the test.
This is their season, absolutely. Do you think that all of the niceties that we've seen, the growth of Shea Patterson, the offensive line and the running game has gotten going? The defense is still the defense. I mean, it's still the #1 defense in the country. They've been able to continue to do things. What are you expecting to see out of them?
Yeah, I mean, the #1 defense in the country. But against who? You know, and I think we've seen this each of the last several seasons. No, it's just you got to prove it against a good team or even a quality team. And we'll see if Wisconsin actually ends up being that. I wasn't very impressed with what they did against Nebraska over the weekend. And, they lost at home to BYU. How good is Nebraska or Wisconsin? We don't know at this point. And the thing is, Michigan and Shea Patterson are the same being. Because what did Shea Patterson do at Ole Miss? Played well against inferior opponents. Didn't play well against better teams. That's what Michigan does as well.
I will tell you, though, real quick about Shea Patterson, because there is this debate, right? Is he good enough? Is he the savior, as people like to say? I got to tell you, like Shea Patterson, and again, this is the trick, because it's against bad competition. But, right? I like what I've seen. He can throw the deep ball. He keeps plays alive with his feet. And usually they result in a touchdown or a first down or at least a nice gain. So I like what I see with Shea. I can't wait to see him against a real good defensive opponent where maybe, I mean, he was talking the other day, they have used, according to him, a quarter of the playbook. Now, maybe that's BS. I don't know. I know you rolled your eyes. But we saw him in his first game on the road against Notre Dame, their toughest opponent. Since then, 6 games later, we'll see how he is. I'm encouraged.
Focusing just on the next game, to beat Wisconsin, they're going to need Shea Patterson to be better than Alex Hornibrook.
Well, absolutely, but they're going to need to run the football, I think, is the biggest thing. You don't want to keep sending that defense back out there on the field, and that's been a constant theme in a lot of these big games. Michigan hasn't been able to run the ball consistently, which can set up the play action. If they can't run the ball, then they can run into some issues possibly with Wisconsin. And that, again, that's been the theme, whether it be Ohio State, Michigan State, can't run the ball against quality defenses. If they can, that'll be a good sign against Wisconsin.
Yeah, the play calling, too, offensively. I mean, that's a big question mark. We're still not sure what this offense is. So, again, going up against a pretty good defense in Wisconsin, it's great that it's a home game. There's still so many questions yet to be on. It's kind of like the Lions. Like, who really are there? But the problem is, Michigan fans, I'm not speaking out of turn here, they're a little delusional. I'm one of them.
What?
They're a little delusional.
I've never heard that.
I've never heard that.
No, that's crazy.
So they take the last 5 games and like, oh yeah, right? So you got to pump the brakes a little bit, but we don't know about the offense. We know about the defense, but that defense, let's be honest as well, last year, a lot of those same guys are back.
Exposed against good teams.
Let's shift gears to the Spartans. Look, just a bad loss to Northwestern. What do they do from here? How do they pick up the pieces? Because it just looks like Dave Warner can't call plays. Brian Lewerke's getting worse. The running game and the offense. So they lost another off. David Beadle's now out for a month. I mean, this team is a shell of what it was coming into the season.
Offensive line, absolutely a mess. Brian Lewerke hasn't been the same quarterback this year, but you do go back to Dave Warner. and the insistence on running the football and being a power running team when you are not a power running team. I mean, look at what Jacksonville did against the Patriots, okay, to go to the NFL when they didn't have Leonard Fournette. Spread them out, attacked, went downfield, won the game, right? Michigan State needs to do more of that. They need to open it up. They need to just showcase Brian Lewerke, even though I understand the offensive line isn't great right now.
But you're right, because how many games over 400 yards passing did Lewerke have last season? 3 of them. 3 in a row, actually.
He's capable.
So he's capable of doing it. I know the injury to some of the wide receivers does hurt them a little bit to do that. But the play calling has to put the team in a situation to win the football game. I'm sorry, you didn't do it. You're down by 3 and you're going for it on 4th and 1 on your 11-yard line, and you draw up a power run off tackle.
And after 2 almost safeties, yes.
I mean, it was
I gotta tell you, though, this is Mark D'Antonio's fault for many reasons. But number one, when you come out to start the season and you say our motto is going to be heave,
well,
it makes you want to puke. It makes you want to heave. I mean, who knew he had such a great motto? Like, really, he comes out and says our motto is going to be heave, and they're now 3-2, and you lose to Northwestern, and you lose to Herm Edwards and Arizona State.
Arizona State's a bad football team too.
Of course, but it is a combination. You guys are right. I mean, play calling number 1, offensive line is dreadful. To be fair, a ton of injuries, and the other thing too, by the way, they stunk in the red zone yesterday, right? Like, they got that guy, Felton Davis.
Heard about him.
Right? He's pretty good.
Right. Moving forward, what does Michigan State do? Is Mark D'Antonio actually forced, in a way, to change his assistants, change his coaching staff a little bit? We saw it with John Beilein in the Michigan basketball program many years ago.
We saw it with Harbaugh.
He brought his guys over from West Virginia, wasn't working out, revamped the staff completely. Will somebody at Michigan State tell Mark D'Antonio, you better do the same thing? I don't know.
And seriously, can you get rid of heave? I mean, is it too late to get rid of the motto?
Probably too late.
All you got to do is heave, and it's gone, right?
Who signed off on that? I mean, is that what the hangover feels like after a loss to Northwestern?
After a big 10-3 season, the hangover.
What kind of motto is that? Seriously.
Well,
man, oh man.
All right, what do you guys think about Michigan State? You can get those tweets in using the hashtag 7sportscape. Coming up next, I'll get to those, and then got to know about our game of the week. That nomination poll is going to be opening soon, so stick around for that right here on the 7 Sportscape. All right, good